In the previous video, we took a look at the concepts of bank reconciliation, and we were looking at the reasons that there might be differences between the bank balance, what the bank says we have, and what our books, our check register, and our cash account in the ledger says that we have. And those reasons for differences, they cause things to be reconciled on a reconciliation. Now here is where one of the reasons might be collections, and this is where we might have customers who are making a payment to us, but instead of sending the payment to us or coming into our store, they are going in and sending it to the bank. And the bank is then taking that payment and applying it into our account. So the bank knows about it in this case because they're the one that received it and put it into our account. We know it's coming, but we don't know exactly when it's coming, what if they pay the wrong amount, whatever. So we don't record it because we don't know exactly about it, and so it needs to go, the book side doesn't know about it, it needs to go on the book side, and it needs to be added. It's a deposit. There can be non-sufficient fund checks. This is where a customer gave us a bad check. Customer gave us a check. We originally recorded it into our books. We deposited cash. We thought it was good. Okay? We crossed out that accounts receivable because we said, oh, they don't owe us anymore. They paid us a check. Well, then it comes out when it hits their bank that they didn't have enough funds in their bank to cover this check. And so we originally put it in our books. The bank originally put it into our account. But as soon as they find out from the customer's bank that this is a bad check, they have pulled that money immediately back out. Meanwhile, we don't know anything about what's happening. And so our books are still showing that deposit as being a good deposit. Okay? And so it's the book side that doesn't know that this was a bad check. So we need to put it on the book side, and of course we need to subtract it back out of there because we had originally added it in. There can also be various errors that happen. The error can be on our side. We write down the wrong amount when we're recording the check in our books or in our check register. It was $125, but we put it in as $152. That kind of thing happens. You know, whether we're using a computer or not, mistakes get made on our side, and mistakes can be made by the bank. Now, the bank has a lot more internal controls and things to try to stop various mistakes, and therefore it is less likely that the error is made by the bank, but it's not impossible. There are people as well, and mistakes can be made. Okay? So before we know what side of the bank reconciliation to put the error on, the bank or our book side, we have to investigate this error and figure out. So on the bank statement, the check cleared for $125, but when we look in our check register, it says $152. Well, even though it's more likely it's us that made the mistake, it's not always us. We need to investigate. We need to find that check. We need to find out what really happened. And then whichever side made the mistake, that's the side that it goes on when we put it on the bank rec. The side that made the mistake. We have to investigate that first. Okay, and then we have to decide if it needs to be added or subtracted to make it right. So if it was a check that was supposed to have put in our books for $125, but we put it in for $152. And after we investigate it, we find out that yes, the bank is right and it was our mistake. So we put it in, we have to try to figure out, did we record it too much or did we record it not enough taken out? Well, in this case, we recorded it in the books as $152. So we recorded a credit to cash. We recorded a subtraction to our check register for more than what we should have shown as a subtraction. So now to make it right, we would have to add back the difference. We would have to add back, we would have to take 152 and subtract the 125 that it should have been. So that's a difference of $27. And we would have to add back that $27 on the book side in that.